If it wasn't for one Stephen King story, Mike Flanagan would not have been a horror director today and would also have never directed one film. While Stephen King is often referred to as the king of horror, and rightfully so, Mike Flanagan, too, has established himself as a horror auteur by consistently delivering acclaimed television shows and movies. However, long before Flanagan came to be known as one of the most talented figures in the horror genre, he was struggling to find his feet as a filmmaker. Around this time, a horror short story written by Stephen King played a crucial role in paving the way for Flanagan as a horror director. Whether he would have been a filmmaker even without the Stephen King story is just another what if one will never know the answer to. However, it is undeniable that the influence of this one Stephen King short story shaped Mike Flanagan's trajectory as a horror director. In a podcast interview, via the Kingcast, Mike Flanagan opened up about how he would not have had a career as a director if it wasn't for Stephen King's 1408. He recalled that when he read 1408 for the first time, he could not help but fall in love with it. After learning about Stephen King's Baby Dollar contract, in which the author gave rights to his books to young filmmakers for $1, Flanagan saw it as an opportunity to adapt the Stephen King short story. Although he had never directed anything before, he moved to California, hoping to start his career with a King adaptation. Unfortunately, he later learned that someone else had already acquired the rights to the film, which crushed him. However, instead of giving up on his filmmaking dreams, he decided to direct a short film that would encapsulate his vision for 1408 but would feature a haunted mirror instead of a room. The short film was titled Oculus. Oculus was later adapted as a full feature film, which not only helped him connect with Stephen King and later work with him but also set the stage for his career as a horror director. Mike Flanagan now has an impressive line of work that includes adaptations of the works of myriad horror authors. However, his early inspiration from 1408 proves that the seeds of creativity can often sprout from rejection and disappointment. Flanagan might have still found his way into filmmaking, but 1408 was certainly a necessary catalyst that ignited his passion for horror filmmaking. He never got to adapt the short story, but it springboarded his career in a new direction. Mike Flanagan's Oculus was loosely inspired by 1408. Oculus' narrative structure is similar to 1408's. A white-eyed demon woman smiles in Oculus. In another interview, via Complex, Mike Flanagan explained that when he first read 1408, he noticed that half of the Stephen King short story focused on talking about the hotel room and the terrors people have experienced in it, instead of jumping straight into the action. Owing to this, when the lead character finally stepped inside the hotel room, Flanagan was terrified of entering the room with him. Realizing the effectiveness of this storytelling approach, Flanagan adopted a similar structure in Oculus by presenting campfire-esque stories surrounding the central haunted mirror in the film's opening arc.